President Nelson here. Join with me as we think celestial, as we explore the intriguing world of Mormon seer stones with our countdown of the top 10 seer stones in Mormon history. From mystical objects used for divine revelations to forgeries crafted for deception, these stones offer a unique glimpse into the spiritual and historical practices of early Latter-day Saints. Discover their stories and the impact they had on the development of Mormonism. #Victories for Satan.
Number 1, Sally Chase's green seer stone. In the early 1800s, the small town of Palmyra, New York, was a hotbed of mystical practices and folk magic. Among the many colorful characters of this era was Sally Chase, revered by locals as Palmyra's most notable seer. She actually claimed the remarkable ability to see visions and locate lost objects through the use of a mysterious green seer stone. Her talents and the stone's power made her a figure of fascination and, to some, fear. The year was approximately 1819 when a young 13-year-old Joseph Smith, Jr., drawn by tales of Sally's abilities and caught up himself in occultic lore, sought an audience with her. Joseph was no stranger to the world of folk magic himself, but he was eager to witness Sally's powers firsthand. Their meeting was a pivotal moment in the intertwined histories of both seers. Sally, with a confident air, placed her small green stone into a hat, a technique well known to those versed in scrying practices. As she peered into the hat, Sally described the visions that emerged, seemingly conjured from the stone's depths. Joseph, with a mix of skepticism and hope, took his turn gazing into the hat. To his astonishment, he too saw visions within the greenish stone. This moment of shared vision was not just a personal revelation for Joseph, but a validation of the magical beliefs he and his family held dear. The lore of the time held that each person had a seer stone destined for them. Inspired by his experience with Sally's stone, Joseph proclaimed he could see his own seer stone through hers. This stone, he declared, lay 150 miles away, buried under a tree. This prophecy added to Joseph's burgeoning reputation as a seer in his own right. In 1827, Sally Chase's stone once again took center stage in a dramatic episode. Sally, along with her brother Willard, used her seer stone to locate the box containing the fabled gold plates, a central artifact in the early history of Mormonism. However, Joseph, ever resourceful and guided by his own mystical experiences, had already received a divine warning. He moved the plates to a new hiding place just in time, staying one step ahead of Sally and Willard. While the exact whereabouts of Sally's stone are lost to history, contemporary accounts describe it as a small greenish stone or glass roughly the size of a thumb. It is said she mounted this thumb-sized stone in a paddle, a unique and practical adaptation for her scrying practices. The story of Sally Chase and her seer stone is a captivating chapter in the early narrative of Joseph Smith and the folk magic culture that influenced him. It highlights the blend of belief, competition, and supernatural intrigue that characterized this period. Sally's legacy, like her stone, remains a tantalizing mystery, a testament to the rich tapestry of early American spiritualism.
Number 2, Joseph Smith's first seer stone. The stone picks up where the last left off. 13-year-old Joseph Smith, approximately 1 year before his first vision, claimed that while looking through Sally's stone, he saw a vision of a white stone buried 150 miles away under a tree. This vision was in line with the belief held by Joseph and his family that there was a unique seer stone for everyone, a magical tool waiting discovery. Fueled by this revelation, Joseph embarked on a quest to unearth the white stone he'd seen. When he finally dug it up, this stone became his first seer stone. It marked the beginning of Joseph's adventures in the occult. This white stone, however, was more than just a tool for locating hidden treasures. It was a symbol of Joseph's emerging mystical abilities and a precursor to his prophetic calling. The white stone played a crucial role in Joseph's early life, especially in his treasure hunting activities. But its significance grew even more when years later he likely used it to translate the papyrus that would become the Book of Abraham. This period of translation further cemented the stone's importance in the early development of Mormon scripture. Eyewitness accounts from those who saw the white stone describe it as resembling a baby's foot, being wider on one side than the other. This distinctive shape added to the stone's mystical allure, making it a unique artifact among Joseph's collection of seer stones. Today, the white stone is held in the possession of the LDS Church in Utah. Despite its historical and religious significance, the church has never made images of the stone publicly available, adding an air of mystery and intrigue to its story. The narrative of Joseph Smith's first seer stone is a tale of discovery, vision, and mystical belief. Underscores the profound impact that such artifacts had on Joseph's life and the early days of Mormonism. This white stone, with its hidden past and elusive presence, remains a testament to the magical traditions that influenced one of the most influential figures in American religious history.
Number 3, the iron-banded jasper egg. This stone, with its dark hue and egg-like shape, played a crucial role in the translation of the Book of Mormon, marking it as one of the most significant artifacts in early Mormon history. In 1822, while digging a well on the Chase family property, Joseph Smith, alongside his peer Willard Chase, were digging a well on the Chase's property. As they toiled, they unearthed a peculiar stone, chocolate-colored and about the size and shape of an egg. This stone, with its distinctive iron bands, immediately captured Joseph's interest. To Joseph, this stone was more than just a geological curiosity. It was a tool of divine revelation. Willard Chase, son of the owner of the property, later recounted this discovery with a mix of wonder and frustration. Joseph, realizing the stone's potential, began to speak of the wonders he could see through it. Willard, however, demanded its return, claiming rightful ownership. Joseph kept the stone for about 2 years, using it to search for lost objects and buried treasures, much to Willard's chagrin. Each time Willard attempted to reclaim it, Joseph refused. The dispute escalated, with Joseph defiantly stating, "I don't care who in the devil it belongs to, you shall not have it." This confrontation marked the beginning of an ongoing struggle over the stone, with Willard still trying to recover it as late as 1830. Despite the contention, the chocolate-colored stone became central to Joseph's work as translator of the Book of Mormon. Emma Smith, Joseph's wife, later recalled, quote, "Now the first that my husband translated was translated by use of the Urim and Thummim, and that was the part that Martin Harris lost. After that, he used a small stone, not exactly black, but was rather a dark color." Close quote. This stone, the iron-banded jasper egg, became Joseph's primary tool for translation after the loss of the 116 pages of the Book of Mormon manuscript. B.H. Roberts, an early church historian, described the stone in detail. The Seer Stones referred to here was a chocolate-colored, somewhat egg-shaped stone, which the prophet found while digging a well in company with his brother Hiram. It possessed the qualities of Urim and Thummim, since by means of it, as described above, as well as by means of the interpreters found at the Nephi record, Joseph was able to translate the characters engraved on the plates. David Whitmer, one of the 3 witnesses to the Book of Mormon, also attested to the stone's significance. He wrote, "By fervent prayer and by otherwise humbling himself, the prophet, however, again found favor, and was presented with a strange oval-shaped, chocolate-colored stone, about the size of an egg, only more flat, which, it was promised, should serve the same purpose as the missing Urim and Thummim." According to Whitmer, this stone was used to translate the entirety of the present Book of Mormon. Today, the iron-banded jasper egg is held by the LDS Church in Utah, and its image was published for the first time in 2015.
Number 4, the Belcher Seer Stone. A green seer stone that traversed through various hands before finding its place in a private collection. The stone's origins trace back to Pennsylvania around 1825 when it was owned by Jack Belcher. Jack's son used this seeing stone to locate lost items, including a tragic attempt to find a missing child who was later discovered starved to death. The stone's reputation for mystical powers made it a coveted item among those who believed in its abilities. Joseph Smith, known acquired this green stone from Jack Belcher. After Joseph's assassination in 1844, the stone found a new owner in Philo Dibble, a Utah pioneer and early Mormon convert. Philo Dibble became a custodian of several significant historical items, including the Belcher seer stone and death masks of Joseph and Hiram Smith. Dibble exhibited these artifacts on lecture tours throughout the Utah Territory, sharing the history and stories associated with them. Following Philo Dibble's death, the stone passed through the hands of various heirs. Its journey through history culminated in its sale in 1993 for $75,000, a testament to its enduring intrigue and value. Today, the Belcher Seer Stone resides in a private collection, its legacy preserved by those who continue to be fascinated by its history and mystical significance.
Number 5, the peyote stone among the various seer stones. Owned by Joseph Smith, the peyote stone is also known as the bitumen seer stone. This sandy-colored stone, roughly the size of a U.S. $quarter, holds a special place in the annals of Mormon history. Joseph Smith discovered this stone along the shores of the Mississippi River between 1839 and 1844. Its intricate design distinguishes it from other seer stones. The stone features a central hole surrounded by 8 smaller indentations with tooled ridges around its edge, showcasing a level of detail not seen in his other stones. After Joseph's death in 1844, his widow Emma retained possession of the stone. She later passed it on to her second husband, Louis Bidaman. Thus the stone became known as the bitumen seer stone. Over time, this artifact found its way to the Wilford Wood Museum in Woods Cross, Utah, where it remains today. The stone is believed to be one of the 2 that Brigham Young referred to as being found during the Nauvoo period. Its small size and intricate features suggest it may have had a specific, possibly ceremonial use.
Number 6, the mud seer stone. Among the collection of seer stones owned by Joseph Smith, the mud seer stone remains one of the most mysterious and least documented. Unlike the other stones with more detailed histories and descriptions, the mud seer stone is known primarily through brief eyewitness accounts and its physical characteristics. Joseph Smith's mud seer stone appears to have been fashioned from clay or mud. This stone is unique in that it is man-made rather than naturally occurring. It is roughly the size of a softball and features a handle for carrying. The finger impressions are still visible, where the creator molded the clay, adding a personal touch to its enigmatic presence. The mud seer stone resides within the vaults of the LDS Church in Utah. Unfortunately, no photographs of the stone have been made available to the public, and the limited information comes from those who have had the rare opportunity to handle it.
Number 7, the beach stones, the discovery of 2 small seer stones on a beach in Nauvoo by Joseph Smith adds an intriguing chapter. These stones, mentioned by Brigham Young in a conversation recorded by Thomas Bullock on September 30, 1855, were part of a larger narrative surrounding Joseph Smith's collection of seer stones. Brigham Young, quote, "I'll ever send me Joseph's first seer stone. Oliver always kept it until he sent to me the second seer stone. Dr. Williams had the third one. It was very large, and Joseph found two small ones on the beach in Nauvoo, a little larger than a black walnut, without the shock on. Joseph said, "There's a stone for every person." On the earth, I don't know that I have ever had a desire to have one, close quote, of these beach-found stones that periodically mentioned, likely is one of these two stones.
Number 8, the David Whitmer Seer Stone. Whitmer Seer Stone, also known as the Native American Gorget, has a unique origin and storied history likely obtained from Native American burial sites. In western New York, this stone was initially a piece of decorative but functional jewelry worn around the neck. David Whitmer, an early leader in the Mormon, possessed this seer stone. Later, in the 1870s and 1880s, his grandson George Schwatch, with a twinkle in his eye, used the stone to receive revelations. To date, the David Whitmer Seer Stone is preserved in the library archives of the Community of Christ in Independence, Missouri. Close quote.
Number 9, the Hiram Page Seer Stone in September 1830. Hiram Page discovered a black stone that he began using as a seer stone to receive revelations for the Mormon Church. Page claimed that the stone provided written sentences, which he transcribed until he had 16 pages of revelations. These messages, likely concerning church governance and the location of Zion, were believed by Oliver Cowdery and the Whitmer family to be direct communications from God. However, these revelations challenged Joseph Smith's exclusive authority. Troubled by this, Joseph prayed and received a revelation, now canonized as Doctrine and Covenants, section 28. He declared that while the stone was indeed a supernatural seer stone, it was consecrated for use by the devil. Consequently, any revelations received from it were deemed to be from the devil. Joseph Smith's declaration led to both the destruction of the stone and Page's written revelations. The stone was ground to powder, and the documents were burned. This event reinforced the doctrine that only the prophet could receive revelations for the entire church. It also established that any communication from God that contradicted the prophet's teachings was from the deceiver. This incident solidified Joseph Smith's position as the sole revelator for the church. And for the record, I never did touch my little factory.
Number 10, the Jacob Whitmer Seer Stone. Jacob Whitmer, one of the 8 witnesses of the Book of Mormon, owned a seer stone. This stone, a Native American trapezoidal gorget, was likely obtained from a burial site in western New York. Initially a piece of decorative jewelry worn around the neck, it found new purpose in the hands of Jacob Whitmer. Jacob used this stone in the 1830s, and it was later utilized by his son John C. Whitmer in the 1880s for the Whitmer Church, also known as the Church of Christ. The stone remained a significant artifact within the Whitmer family for many years. Today it is owned by a private collector.
Jeffrey R. Holland here. We have a bonus here, created out of whole cloth. Number 11, the Mark Hofmann forgery Seer Stone. This Seer Stone is a controversial piece shrouded in mystery and deception. Hofmann claimed to have discovered it in an antique store near Logan, Utah. According to Hofmann, the stone was used by a bishop in the early 1850s to determine the gender and complexion of his children before they were born. The stone's forged provenance includes an inscription that reads, Henry Wilde, John Wilde, stone through which father would see the complexion and gender of all his children. He founded about 1860 near in 1851 Logan, Utah. Hofmann, known for his skill in creating convincing forgeries, added tiny details such as a pencil correction on the date, as well as likely utilizing a authentic gorget, making the stone appear more authentic. The stone exemplifies Hofmann's ability to blend historical details with fabrication, creating artifacts that challenge the boundaries between genuine history and deception. Hofmann is a liar, liar, pants on fire.
We hope you have enjoyed this examination of the top 10 seer stones in Mormonism, as we offer a unique window into the mystical and historical aspects of early Mormonism. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share this episode with your friends. For more fascinating content, visit mormondiscussions.org.